Get that money, 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 money. I don't come to money, 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 money. Do it all for money, 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 money. Let me stack that money, 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 money. Come and get that money, 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 money. I don't come to money.
Good evening. Welcome to Plus Money Golf on the Fantasy Sports Corp Network. Show with the pro and the caddy. That'd be Adam and Smitty. My name's Eric. I'm just the host. We are brought to you this evening by Jazz Sportsbook Casino and Racebook and our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Use code Plus Money, all one word, and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Sounds like an incredible deal. Chris is somewhere. He's off site. He's on the road, and he's still making it happen. Doesn't matter where he is. The show goes on. We got Adam and Smitty here too. So, I mean, you guys are doing nothing but handing out winners every week. So, I think we're in good shape. How's Smitty doing?
I'm doing good, man. Like, I told everybody last week that Hovland was the guy, man. Like, jump on him. He was the guy. Like, he was made for that course. And he not only showed that on Sunday, but he also just went a little extra further and set a course record. So, you know, I don't understand why people aren't listening to us. I don't get why they don't want to listen to our information and take our advice. Our loyal listeners, they're making money. They're doing their thing. We're hot right now and coming into our own here the last week. And I'm excited for what's going to be a great FedEx Cup championship.
Two for two, baby. 2 for 2.
Not bad. Not a bad way to wrap up the summer. I mean, we're buying school clothes all over the place.
Yeah, it was really exciting, to watch Victor Hovland come and just shoot a 61 and a course record on Sunday and just kind of walk away there at the end was pretty incredible. And then, another guy too that we talked about that we just said, he's made for this course as well. But a guy that you just can't trust right now. And we just didn't put our money where our mouth was, unfortunately, but look who's there sitting T2 is Matt Fitzpatrick. It's just like, well, Jesus, like we knew that this was a course made for him, but we're just like, can we really put our money on him because of how shitty it'd be in all year? But then all of a sudden here he is the whole weekend, just doing his thing,
Yeah. Yeah. To do that on Sunday for, Hovland is something else. Like that's the high pressure game.
Yeah, but I mean, the nice thing is he's shown that this whole, this season that he's really starting to come into his own and really prove that he's one of the top 10 players for sure in the world. And then I'm excited for him because I think that it's just the start for him because he's still in his mid-20s. I mean, this kid is going to be unbelievable, and he arguably might be the best dressed on the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even the best player on that golf team that year in college.
That's insane too.
He won the USAM, but I mean, you had Matthew Wolff, you had Austin Eckroat, you had Kevin Tway. I mean, it was probably the best golf team tour-wise besides the Georgia team that had the guys that are winning like Glover and those guys. I mean, it just shows how good college golf is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these young guys are incredible now. It seemed like, and maybe it's because I was a kid, it seemed like golfers were all older guys back in the day. They weren't like 20 and winning majors.
My concern is if you're an American on the Ryder Cup team, you're like, holy shit, the Europeans are winning every week. I mean, Hatton, Fleetwood, Hovland, Rory, they're all coming into form just before Rome. And I saw where Victor said, told Rory after they played, he said, can't wait till Rome now. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at everything, I know you got Scotty there. I know you have John
Can't putt
Rahm.
worth he can't
I know,
putt worth
that's
the
the thing.
shit.
Like, imagine how many wins Scotty has this year if he could just fucking putt a little bit. He's been
He's
so
gonna win
bad
this
there.
week easily if he makes
Oh yeah,
half the
without
putts he
question.
missed.
It's just
Yeah.
wild. It's wild to think that about that, right? Because it's like, I don't know. Like, I hate to say it, but when it comes to the Ryder Cup right now, like, how are the Europeans not favored? I haven't looked at any of that stuff yet, so I'm not. Maybe they are, but like, man, I'm putting money right now on the Europeans presently, just because of the fact that like all those guys are rolling right now. And I'm not saying that the US guys aren't playing well, but shit, man, they don't know who the hell the bottom of their team's going to be yet, because there's a lot of ifs there.
They
And if
need
they
Glover.
put JT on that fucking team, man, I'm sorry.
I'm fucking done with it. I'm done with the U.S. I'm done with
cannot
Zach Johnson.
That can't
How
happen.
do you fucking pick JT? He hasn't done shit all year. You got Lucas Glover winning. You've got Finau winning. You've got all these guys winning, and then you put JT because he's a great team guy.
Yeah, I
Fuck
know.
that.
That's stupid.
Like,
Like
we're
he's like
trying to
talking
win.
about
No.
he's talking about locker room
playing
guy
like
and
shit.
stuff. It's like, dude, come on,
God
give me a
damn
break.
it.
Like,
I might have had
so-
too many beers, but fuck that. That's stupid. Like, that's the dumbest decision you could ever make. Like, I'm taking Jordan Spieth with the 3-footer before I ever take JT playing from tee to green.
So that's the
God
thing
damn
too.
it.
Is it's like that's the thing, right? Like, you're not taking Spieth over him. You're not taking guys like who are on fire like right now. Who another guy who got overshadowed this last Sunday. Okay, Russell Henley.
Homa.
Russell Henley shoots a 63.
Fuck.
Right? Tom Kim shoots a
Yeah.
63. I know that he's not an American, but like there's guys that are playing ridiculous, right? Those guys shoot 63 on Sunday in round 4 in, what is quote unquote like the semifinals, right, of the FedEx Cup Championship. And no one's talking about 63s because Victor Hovland shot a 61. He went 65
JT,
to end the tournament to absolutely put it in Scotty Scheffler's mouth.
did JT even make the cut in this Mexican tour event he played in? I mean, what was he
I don't
playing?
even
His
know,
Blood
but I
Pro
saw-
guy? I mean,
I don't know.
fuck. Like, dude,
I even
why are you
saw-
going to alternate tour events, like trying to prove your case? Like, that's such bullshit. Lucas Glover finished what, top 20?
Yeah, I
The
know.
dude- I mean,
he was 20. Yeah, T22.
If they
I mean,
pick JT, I'm fucking done with the Ryder Cup.
it's stupid though because you got guys.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be insane, especially after this year. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
How-
I
How
know.
strong are the politics?
It's stupid. It's bullshit.
It is that's the thing, Eric. You bring up a really good point with politics, right? Is that unfortunately wherever you go and no one, it drives me a little bit nuts, okay? Because I understand like where respect needs to come when it goes to the point where it's like, what have you done, right? Like I'm gonna respect the hell out of you because of the things that you've done. I get that. Like I get that part, but if you're going to sit there and say, well, I've done this, so I should be able to do this. That's the wrong mindset. If you're not still presently doing the things that you have done, then it's time to move to the side and understand, it's a new age taking over type thing. There's so many good young Americans that deserve to be on the Ryder Cup team. And even in like Lucas Glover's case, older guys that deserve to be on the Ryder Cup team over somebody like Justin Thomas. And do I think Justin Thomas's career is over? No, but he's got a lot of things to work on before he's an elite
gotta
golfer
rebuild.
on the PGA Tour again.
Fowler's won this year. Sam Burns has won twice this year. How do you skip those guys for Justin Thomas's bullshit fucking season where he
Yeah.
can't make a cut?
I agree. I agree.
Horseshit.
Or he's out there saying he's never played
Sorry.
worse.
You're telling me you wouldn't take JT Poston right now over Justin Thomas?
I'd take Aaron
Fuck.
Eckroat
I'm
over.
taking
come on.
JC Poston 10 out of 10.
Absolutely, you are. And I think 9.5 out of 10 guys are taking him over JT. But Zach Johnson sitting there like, well, I can't ruffle feathers. I can't make guys mad. Guys that are like faces
Fuck
on the
those
tour. And
guys.
it's just like, well, I don't even think that Justin Thomas is necessarily like a face of the PGA Tour right now because people have forgotten about him because he hasn't been playing. He's already registered to play in the Fortnite Championship. Now, is that because he knows foreshadowing, right? that he's going to be on the Ryder Cup team and he's trying to play a little bit and get a little something going? Or is he like, God damn, like I'm not making the Ryder Cup, so I got to try to make some money and see what I can do here? Is like, I don't know. Like, what do you think the argument there is? Like, what is he doing?
He finished 71st on the money list. There's what, 40 Americans that are better than him?
Right.
I mean, picking him is stupid because it's like, oh, he did this in the Ryder Cup history. Fuck that. We're trying to win this year. We're going to get ran over if we.
I know. Like, I'm looking favorites. I'm looking at other guys
Victor
too.
Hovland's
like,
going to run train on Justin Thomas.
For sure. I'm looking at other guys on the list like that could be just from this last week from the top 50, right? Guys that I would take over Justin Thomas right now. Keegan Bradley, winner this year.
Yeah, 2 wins. 2 wins.
You know, Colin Morikawa, right? Still better than JT, and he arguably had one of his most down years, but he's still pretty solid.
Scott Stallings, 12th on the money list.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Hoagie, pretty good guy, right? You know, like you already mentioned, Sam Burns. You got guys like
Ricky.
Yeah, like I said, Russell Henley. You got Ricky. Going down the list even a little bit more. You got Tony Finau wouldn't be a bad one. Let's see.
At this point, Taylor Moore's
pretty much
better.
Anybody we've talked about in the last month.
It's true, Eric, for sure.
Stallings.
If you want to fuck up your Ryder Cup like legacy as a captain, pick JT and get ran train in Rome and look like a dumb shit for picking JT.
Couldn't
I agree.
He just like decline? Couldn't he say, "Nah, I don't have it this year, boys. Thanks for the offer."
There's no way he would do that. There's no way he would do that. No way. What you're saying you would do that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
There's no chance. There's no chance you do that.
Dude,
for
it's
the
just
good of the game. Oh.
JT's not a big. He's not a big name draw. Jordan Spieth draws more fans.
Hell yeah, Jordan Spieth's a dog.
I mean,
and he's played better lately than JT.
He has trending, but JT hasn't trended the whole season. He hasn't had a stretch where he's like, oh, he's a world beater. The guy hasn't done shit the whole season.
He barely made.
He's just not done anything the whole year.
Nope.
I mean, 6 top 10s is not going to get you in the fucking Ryder Cup, dude.
Yeah, I mean, so you got so just for those of you that don't know, right? So like the current 6 guys that are that have already in is Scotty, obviously. Wyndham Clark, 2 wins this year, obviously. Yeah. Brian Harman,
and
playing
a major.
Out of his mind this year. Yeah, major. Yeah, Brian Harman, major. Patrick Cantlay, slowest player on earth. Gonna mind fuck people to
he's
just
playing faster
lose their
since
mind.
he got
I know he is.
Kava on the bag.
But he's doing great. But he's playing great. Max Homa, Xander, right? And like Patrick Cantlay's his Ryder Cup record is 3-0-1. Take it. So and then Xander's 3-1.
He's playing good.
You know, we got some newbies here, you know, in Clark and Harman and Homa, but like that's a pretty good start with 6 guys.
Okay,
but
so
they just can't screw up the rest of it. Yeah, I mean,
would you rather take Koepka at 4 tour events this year or JT?
I would take Koepka because Koepka is an absolute grinder.
And he's a fucking road cutter.
And he's a big game hunter. If it's a big event, he's going to play
If it's a big event, Brooks Koepka's there. I mean, honestly, I hate the guy with a passion, but I'd rather see Bryson DeChambeau there than JT.
Bryson is a all-out American, like, let's just kick the shit out of these guys.
Right.
JT is that, but he can't do it.
But he can't do it right now. Yeah.
If you put him in a singles match against Hovland, Fleetwood, or Hatton, he's going to get his ass kicked. He can't beat any of those guys. He hasn't beat them all year.
And Tyrrell Hatton might actually beat his ass. Did you see Hatton like the rules / scorer guy like at the end of his round like Hatton's like Terrell's like,
He's on the
he's like
bubble.
trying to get out of there. And the guy's like, well, you know that you're currently right now, you're 29th and like you're leading by this many points. And yes, there are a couple guys out there that are doing that are still there that have the potential to beat you and everything. And he's just like turning and walking away from trying to get away and trying to leave and stuff. And he's like, so the guy's like, you still have an outside shot. He's just like beside himself. He's like, just basically telling the guy to leave him alone. And when he was out on the course before he was done, like he was throwing like tantrums out there. Like it was crazy.
If Thigala makes that putt on 18, it probably bumps Hatton out of the top 20, out of the top 30.
Does that
And
bump
Spieth for sure?
Yeah, that would have bumped out Jordan too. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
It would have bumped a couple guys. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been quite the story for Thigala to knock out those two guys to jump into the top 30 type thing, you know? So it's like, yeah,
top 30 gets you in all the majors and the players. Like that's a lock season.
Well, not to mention that a third of this field this weekend is going to be playing for at least $1 million. With the winner taking home $18 million.
Oh,
and Rory won it 3 times.
Yeah. Like
nobody's won it more than Rory.
It's insane. But Rory's
Tiger
not winning. Rory's not winning.
Rory 3.
I don't think Rory's winning this week, but he might.
Maybe he's been trending in the right direction.
This is the course. This is such a great course for Rory. We can talk about that once we get into it here, whatever. But I'll just say this is such a great course for Rory too. And he obviously proved that last year. But a guy who drives the ball far and pretty accurately, and some of the statistics on him and Xander are just ridiculous.
Wow, now I want to hear him this week. It's the Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Course in Atlanta. Sounds like a big deal. Golf with a purpose. That's what the website says. Located at Atlanta, Georgia, East Lake Golf Club is the oldest golf course in the city, where legendary golfer Bobby Jones learned the game. Bobby Jones. He's an all-time golfer. Did he bring golf to the United States?
Yeah, just a little bit.
It is the site of this tournament since 2005, the permanent home of the Tour Championship. It says culminating event of the PGA Tour. This is the last one. That's upsetting.
The last Tour Championship?
No, the last event of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, technically.
Then we have the fall season that starts.
The fall season is kind of like the little like, I don't know, the redheaded stepchild of the PGA Tour, where guys are just trying to,
but it's got good events.
A little loot. It does have good events, yeah. And now Adam's boy Justin Thomas is playing in one of them, so
he's not my boy.
No, so like. So East Lake, golf club, just to give some insight on and everything, and it's the 7th longest course on the PGA Tour. It ranks at 104.9 yards per par, which is pretty long. There's a little bit of elevation at just over 1,000 feet. It's middle of the pack with bunkers. There's only 4 water holes, so it's not a lot of like water issues. The biggest deal here has to do with the rough, and mostly the rough being an issue on tee shots. So your second shots, if you're in the rough, makes it really hard for, I should say, after your tee shots it makes it pretty tough for your approach shots because of the Bermuda rough. And it's saying that it's only playing like at 2.5 inches, but I really doubt that it's only going to be 2.5 inches. I would think that it would be taller than that, because that's pretty average across the board when it comes to the entire PGA Tour and the rough length. And because in the last few weeks we've been like looking at like 4 to 4.5 inch roughs. But I know the Bermuda is a little different, and like Adam can probably like speak on that a little bit better than I can. But And then like the greens,
It's easier to hit out of.
but harder to control with like spin, correct? Because
I mean, personally, I prefer to play from Bermuda than like the fescue or the rye, because the fescue, when you hit, you can't get like a fairway wood on it or a long iron. And the way it comes out with a wedge, it comes out like almost knuckly.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like Bermuda, you can be more aggressive because you can get a fairway wood through there with the swing speeds they have. But chipping, to me, from Bermuda is easier because you can be way more aggressive. I feel like it comes out with more spin than like the fescue, like TPC Deer Run or Detroit, or like they had last week.
So do
I
you
don't
think
know.
that guys are not expecting to have that much spin out of the rough just because of the way it looks then, or what?
I mean, I like the guys that play Florida and Texas because they get Bermuda all the time.
Mhm.
I just personally prefer Bermuda because it's easier to hit fairway wood, or it's
'Cause you're
easier to
from
hit
Oklahoma?
hybrid. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was just
makes
talking
sense.
about this today. I was like, dude, it's because it was the event I'm playing this weekend has Bermuda, and he said the rough's kind of up, and I said, well, that's going to be easy, and he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, to me, Bermuda rough is easier to play from than fescue because it's more predictable. Where fescue, when you hit it, it's the blades are so thick that the club like really twists and turns.
Yes.
And you don't get that out of Bermuda. It's just like it either slows the club down or it speeds it up. So,
Yeah, so
I feel like it launches better, and I feel like you can be way more aggressive with wedges, chipping around the green, and then your hybrids and fairways come out a little hotter
okay.
because the club doesn't slow down as much going in. Where the fescue, once your club goes in, the club really slows down going into the ball. With Bermuda, it seems to stay the same speed. It just doesn't launch as high. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you with the fescue, and you talk about how like if especially with long, if you try to
Fescue's
take
bullshit.
if you try to take a long iron or some sort of hybrid or wood out of fescue, and it's more than 3 inches,
It
I
ain't
mean, it's
coming.
no, it's not. It's gonna grab the shit out of your club, and it's gonna twist that thing around, and
Yeah.
it's gonna give you a big middle finger as you watch the ball go nowhere near where you want it to
Yeah.
go. And I try to tell that to guys all the time when they try to take like long irons or a hybrid out of that stuff, and they're like, "Well, at my course, I take my hybrid out of the rough all the time." I'm like, "This is not your fucking course. Like this is Aaron Hills. It's a U.S. Open course, man, and that like
Yeah.
this grass will eat your hybrid up."
Yeah.
It's like if you don't want to take double bogey on this hole, you're going to hit your 7 iron right now at the very most, and you're going to put it out there in the fairway, and then you're going to go for the green, and then we're going to end up walking out of here with a par or a bogey, and like these guys just don't understand that. Like,
Yeah. I feel like on a par 5 reach bowl, if you're in the first cut or the rough in Bermuda, you can really go at it. Whereas in fescue, there's no way it's gonna go 60% of your distance.
so to
Wow.
kind of like go off of a little bit of what you're saying, right? And it does contradict a little bit, right, with what guys are saying. So a couple like quotes. It says the Bermuda rough, you just can't control it. It puts a premium on driving. And then this one, they're not saying who said this. It's just saying you have to hit the fairway if you want any shot at knocking on the green. And then it says the rough is brutal and you never get a good lie.
I mean, I like Bermuda fairways because the ball sets up. It's like
So
Zoysia.
Bermuda, right? When it's cut short, especially like that, like it's almost like it's set up on a tee, right, on the fairway.
Yeah, it's not like tight bent or tight bluegrass. Like where we're at, me and Smitty, it's bent, and the fairways are so tight. It's really hard to hit fairway woods and hybrids off of. Like,
yeah,
people don't understand. It's really, really hard because the ball is setting at 0. Whereas when you go to Bermuda, no matter how low they mow it, it's still setting up probably 1/8 of an inch, which is like what you would tee probably a 3-wood or a hybrid. So I feel like par 5s are way more goable, which we see last year. Rory, I mean, just fucking striped everything on the par 5s. And when they get these long iron shots at East Lake, they just go at it because they can. The ball sets up. It's like it's on a tee.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with what you're saying and stuff. So like I was I just wanted to bring all that up and talk about that a little bit because I figured that you had something to say about it. One other thing, like I know this is bouncing around here, but like we're talking about the championship here and some guys that have been having some seasons, right? Like it's crazy, like how the season that Scotty Scheffler's been having.
He played
And
shitty the last part of it.
right, but like the amount of money he's won because of all the top fives he has is crazy.
Insane. Yeah.
But really, he should have what? I don't know, 7 wins this year if he could have an average putter.
At least.
You know, but this was crazy, and you'll like this because you're a Tiger guy. Okay. Saw this tweet today. I don't even know. Is it still called a tweet? What the hell is it called?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
A post, an expression.
Most of our listeners aren't on realize it's X yet.
So it says, this tweet that was great. It says, with 1 week to go in the season, Scotty Scheffler has all but cemented the second best strokes gained tee to green season since tracking began 20 years ago. Best single season averages: 2006 Tiger Woods plus 2.98, 2023 Scotty Scheffler plus 2.74. So we're like everyone's talking about how great Scotty Scheffler is, right? And how he's just ridiculously good because he's a lot better than everybody minus what? Maybe Rory on tour right now.
Tiger won what?
But
10
look at that
times
differential.
Season? Didn't Tiger win like 8 or 9, 10 events that season?
Yeah, let's look. Tiger wins in 2006.
I mean, there were seasons when Duval and VJ and Tiger were winning like 8 or 9 clips. I mean, it's stupid. But if Scotty could figure out how to putt, I mean, you're talking like plus 4 strokes.
He won 2 major championship titles and had 6 other PGA Tour victories that year.
8
So
wins.
He had 8 wins. That's insane, right? Like, I mean,
when he was playing in his heyday, Duval was winning like 6 events, 7 events, 8 events. VJ was winning 10 events. Tiger was winning 8 events. You don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Which shows the depth, but if Scotty could figure out what putter to fucking use, he could be easily 6 or 7 events. It could be one of the greatest seasons of modern time.
Yeah, I know, it's true. Man, I mean,
and he had a great season.
No majors this year, and and only what he's got. Yeah, it's just kind of. I don't even know what to think about that, but like the amount of money he's won this year, and then if he wins this weekend, he's going to be upwards of like $40 million in 1 year.
That's insane.
Now, I understand that money is different in 2023 than it was in 2006, but
it's still $40 million.
$40 million. Eric, do you have $40 million laying around in that living room of yours?
Barely have $40 in here.
No one in Live got
I don't have 40.
I mean, this goes back to the point of Live. Like, those guys didn't get $40 million in a year.
But they don't have to play as much, Adam.
But you could play all the elevated events only. I don't think of the 54 players on Live that 10 of them can make all of the elevated events. You'd have 10 maybe that made all the events.
Yeah.
Maybe 5.
Maybe, yeah. 10's a pretty hefty number. Yeah, I would say
Brooks, Bryson, DJ, Cam Smith, and Taylor Gooch. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, maybe like a Joaquin Niemann could have a shot.
This is my dream discussion I'm going to have with Austin Eckroat tomorrow if I'm playing with him, which I don't know. So I got paired in a practice round with 4 other guys that I have no idea who they are at 10:30. Who else would play at 10:30 besides Eckroat, Max
Professional.
McGreevy, Hayden Wood, Blaine Hale? I mean, so if I'm going to see him at some point tomorrow, I'm going to be like, hey, do you have 2 minutes I can talk to you about just something?
Why you won't just get a top 20 for him?
And we're your
Max.
biggest fan. Max McGreevy, we're your biggest fan. Please, just give us a
Just
plug.
19. Just give us a 19, buddy.
Just be
and
like,
say plus
hey,
money
buddy.
golf in the interview.
I'm pulling for you. You won me a little money this year, but God damn it, play better.
Yeah, it's
Max,
true.
you came out of nowhere for a top 5, and then he says he was inspired by plus money golf.
Yeah.
That's when we really take off. How do we bet on this thing? I see winner without starting strokes and winner. They're not giving us a lot.
Yeah, so
There's only 30 guys.
yeah, so it's top 30 players, right? That's left. And like the thing that I like the most about if I'm going to be betting this weekend is I would be betting most confidently. I will be betting most confidently on outrights without strokes. Because then that just makes it a regular golf tournament with the top 30 players in the world, right? And if you're looking to get the right kind of juice, now if you have some statistical advantages that you think that you really understand who's going to win, and you feel like, hey, I'm taking Rory at plus 350, well, that's probably one of your only bets on the weekend on outrights, right? Because plus 350, man,
You're gonna have the 4 or 5 units.
that's not getting you anywhere.
Do these guys play like, are they mentally thinking, well, I'm 6 back, but he got 5, so really I'm only 1 back? And they play they're 1 behind?
If I'm playing in the top this week, I'm thinking, okay, it's a 5-round event. After round 1, I'm 5 back. That's basically how you start. But I think with the way Scotty's putting, I think you think, okay, a 3-shot advantage goes to a 1.
Well,
because
but like the thing is,
he's going to play safe the first 9 holes. And then if you're somewhat aggressive, like a Lucas Glover or a Wyndham Clark, you can really gap the field on the first day.
Like I don't think, hot take, right? Like I don't think Scotty's going to be leading after round 1.
Oh, he's going to be leading after any round.
Like
3 shots, that's gone after 3 holes.
With Victor, Rory, and I guess John Rahm. I think John Rahm is like down.
Which Rahm shows up.
Like I think Max Homa could be sitting at 10 under after round 1.
Yeah.
And he's 6 back to start. So
Max Homa. 35-1.
That's some crazy stuff there. Like Brian Harmon could go low, I mean,
Lucas Glover, he's like Jason. He just keeps walking.
Rory was 6. What was Rory 6 back last year, and he won by 2 or 1?
Was he 7 back? Something like that.
I mean, the last 2 years we've seen people come from behind. Tiger, come from behind, just unbelievable storybook.
Like you have guys that are 7 back. Listen to these names that are 7 back right now, and you tell me that they can't make up 7 strokes in 4 days. Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Keegan Bradley, Ricky Fowler, and Xander Schauffele. Xander Schauffele owns this course.
I mean, Tom Kim's 8 back. That dude drops 62, 63 first round every 5 events.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way Scotty wins this. Like, if he wins, good for him, but there's no way. It's not
I know.
happening.
I don't know that he's gonna win either. It's and like obviously it's not a hot take for someone to say, well, yeah, Scotty's winning. Oh, cool. Well, he's got a 2-stroke lead and he's the best player in the world. He should fucking win.
He should on a 2-stroke lead multiple times this year.
He should win. Yes, I know.
with lesser players behind him.
I know.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
I like that the guys that are behind him are aggressive players. Victor, Max Homa, Cantlay, Harmon, Clark, Lucas Glover. They're
But it's
all aggressive players.
it's crazy if you look at all 30 guys, right? All 29 guys that are below Scotty. They all have the ability to go out and shoot a 62, 61, 63 on day one. They all do. Every
Scotty-
single one of these guys.
Scotty is a safe player. He's just not let's take a deep round.
Except maybe Adam Schenk. Like, he's like the only guy on this list where I'm just like,
Is he on there?
Like, bro, you don't. Yeah, he's starting at 9 back.
-1.
Like, bro, you don't fit, man. Like him,
Adam
Nick Taylor, and like arguably Taylor Moore. They're like guys, you're kind of out of your league here.
Yeah, but they've all taken it deep this year.
I know.
I mean, what's Jordan got to lose? He's in last place, basically.
Yeah, he might
He's
win.
going for broke.
He might win.
I mean, if a guy shoots 65 and Scotty shoots even, you just gain 5 strokes,
In one day. Yep.
and you've got.
And
3
from
hours
there,
left.
it's just chipping away for three rounds, because guys know full well that a 5-stroke deficit after one day, right? Like, that's not anything. Those guys that have big leads after day one on the PGA Tour, if you look back this year alone, there's a lot of guys who have 4 to 5 stroke leads at the end of the day, and they don't come anywhere near winning.
Especially with a guy with a shaky putter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a great putter. Go back to your old Scotty. That's the only way you're going to make putts.
Yeah, like, I love Scotty Scheffler. I really do. But I'm just not putting my money on him this week either, because it's just fucking, it's ridiculous what his odds are. What are they at right now, Eric? They're at
Plus.
-150, I think.
with strokes plus 140. Like, I'm not betting on that. I want to get something for my money.
No.
I mean,
I just parlayed Xander with the Packers winning the North for 47-1.
I like that. I like that.
I mean,
we may as well take guys without strokes if this lead is nothing. Right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I like it. And if we get into that right now, we can talk about that. I don't know if we want to go with strokes first, if we want to go without strokes first, but I got some hammers here.
Let's see. What's that?
are we doing 5 or 3?
Is
I think we were doing 3 with strokes, and we were doing 5 without the strokes. If you only have 3 and 3, that's fine too. But
I got 5 and 5 because I was antiquated this week.
all right.
the old school method.
I'm on piece of paper this week.
I have
Analog.
I have a notebook for every single episode that we've done where I have it all written down and my notes just scratched all over the place. It's great. I love
How
it.
about we're all drinking beer this week?
I know.
That's what I like. Smitty's beer was a lot cheaper than mine. I can guarantee that.
And it's the same beer too.
Yep.
Yeah, but yours isn't in a glass.
Oh, well, it could have been in a glass. I have a glass right behind me, but I didn't put it in there.
So what do you like with the strokes? Maybe.
All right, so with the strokes, just because I'm looking at stuff here. I mean, if I'm telling people to bet, by the way, like, personally, I'll give advice for both, but I personally would make bets without the strokes. It's just better for gambling's sake, right? But if you like with strokes and you want to put some cheddar on the actual scores that are happening and the staggered scoring. So my first one I have is Victor Hovland at plus 500 because, I mean, what he did last weekend was insane. It was awesome. I loved it.
That could easily carry over.
Yeah, very much so. He's at plus 500. Not great, but honestly, for just winning last week, sitting 2 strokes back, like plus 500 was pretty solid, I thought. Then I have And then I have Xander Schauffele at plus 2,800. He's sitting 7 strokes back. This guy absolutely, like I said before, owns this course. Okay? Like, it's insane. So he is either 1 or 2 in this category on the field this weekend. Strokes gained total, strokes gained tee to green, strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained ball striking, strokes gained short game. He's 2nd in approach and 3rd in putting. That's in the field of like for this course alone. He absolutely dominates. Like he was runner up in 2020 lost to DJ, and then he won in 2017. Like, this guy, he's got the best track record ever at this course. He loves this place, apparently. He's got his worst finish at this course is T7. And he's got 6 total appearances here. And his worst finish is T7. Xander Schauffele at plus 2,800. That's pretty damn good money with the strokes.
Yeah.
He can chip that away. If he can chip away at that, he goes low one day, he's in the mix come Sunday. And then I
That's all
have
we need.
another guy who's absolutely on fire, and he's sitting 1 stroke better as Max Homa at plus 2,800 as well. Max Homa is just playing really well, and he's kind of finally coming back into his own, like the guy at the beginning of the season that we saw. And so again, we on this show, we like to ride the hot seat, right? We like to go with those guys that are hot, and Hovland and Homa are the hot guys right now. Xander's got the history. Those stats that I was given before, or whatever, about Xander being one of the top 2 guys, like Rory, if you want to make a small bet on Rory plus 350, that's like my 4th one if I had to have one to give you advice there, because same thing, like strokes gained total, tee to green, off the tee, ball striking, short game. Like, he's 1 or 2 in the field at this course. So Rory and Xander are best set up to win this tournament just by the stats alone. I personally really, really like Xander without the strokes, but we'll get into that in a second.
28 to 1's nice. Oh, it's actually 30 to 1 now. Or I'm looking at the offshore. I should be looking at draft.
30 to 1's nice. I wish. I mean, you'll take anything better than what you currently have.
Yep, exactly. All right. What do I got? I got Hovland, Xander. Oh,
so you probably on your offshore, you probably got Xander. You probably got Xander better than 9 to 1 than what DK has him then for without
strokes. Yes. 11 to 1.
Ooh,
Yep.
Nice.
What do you think, Adam? What guys with strokes?
With strokes, I think Victor 500. It's just a lock. Homa 2,800, and then Glover at 4,000. Off week last week, kind of regroup, come back this week, and then you could go Harman 5,000 or Clark at 5,500.
How far back is Clark?
I have to look.
Clark is sitting 4. He's 6 back. He's 4 under. Lucas Glover is at 5 under. So those are pretty good odds for those guys. Me personally, I'd rather have, I'd rather take Wyndham Clark there over Glover. For me, I feel like Lucas Glover is falling back to reality a little bit, but we'll see what happens.
Wow, even without strokes, Wyndham is 30 to 1.
I just don't know that Wyndham can go low enough. I just don't know. I mean, for either with or without strokes, I just don't know that he can go low enough. But
In
capability
this type of scenario.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We just did with. Now we are without. Wow.
I
Take a
think
little
Glover
work.
regroups this week.
Maybe. I don't see it. I think that he kind of comes back to reality and starts to.
I mean, Bermuda grass.
Maybe.
Yep. It's Glover time. What do you think without Strokes, Smitty? Got some different picks?
Yeah. So I have
like the same
I have
guy.
Xander. I have Xander at 9-1. Like he's my favorite without Strokes by
Yeah.
far. He's just so consistent at this place, and he's proven time after time that he has the ability to be the low guy. I have, which I was kind of shocked by this too, just by the way he's playing, like Victor Hovland at 10-1. That Xander was ahead of him there, but I get the course history; it makes sense. But Victor just won. I like
relatively.
I like Max Homa at 14-1. I think Max, sitting where he is right now at 4 under, 6 back, I think he has an opportunity to be to like Adam said, be super aggressive and kind of go after things a little bit. I like that there. And then I have Russell Henley at 35-1. Another guy who went super low on Sunday this last tournament, and a guy that has shown that he's able to do that a couple times in a tournament. And then last tournament of the year, got to go with my boy Jordan. But Adam already brought it up before I even said Jordan Spieth's name.
True.
Right? Guy that's going to be super, super aggressive or has nothing to lose. Like money doesn't matter to him.
Bubble.
Ryder Cup bubble, has a lot to prove. That's great odds there.
And I like that even Luke Glover said, like, playing for your country means something to me.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't see that in their sports, where Ryder Cup, you see that every player. But want to make that team.
Right. And then you also said earlier too today, right, where it's like those guys that play Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Jordan's going to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I hope. Usually. Sort of, kind of, a little bit. But 35-1, man. Come on. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Somebody pay me.
That's a fantastical number right there. Jordan Spieth and the Packers to beat the Bears week 1. That sounds like a great parlay.
Yeah,
I like parlaying golf guys with random stuff. Because you instantly get like 100-1 when you parlay a winner of a golf tournament.
Oh, for sure, man. You got, just to give a little bit more before Adam gives his without the Strokes, you got Max Homa at 14-1, but like his last 4 events, T5, T6, T10, T12. Guys on a heater right now. He's got his last 8 rounds. Okay, he's got out of his last 8 rounds, he's got 6 rounds of 62, 65, 66, and 68 3 times. He needs a few of those this weekend. If he gets a couple of those this weekend, he's going to be in it here. He might be in it for outright with Strokes at that point if he gets there. If he shoots a 62 at some point this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, he'll be motivated. Adam, who do you think wins without the Stroke?
I think Rory at 40. Rory at plus 450. This is his course. He owns it 3 times. Nobody's won more tour championships than Rory.
Yeah.
Not Tiger, not anybody.
That's why he's not 5-1 or better.
And he knows that. And I think he may win this week because if he gets to 4, Tiger will never touch that. And that's a record. Like, Tiger could come back next year, have an amazing year, make the tour championship and win, but he won't get to 4. It's just not in the cards.
Yeah.
And Victor at 1,000, 10-1. He's just too good. Last week, and then he said a couple quotes where he was like shot to shot. He wasn't thinking about the outcome. He was just thinking shot to shot. That's what you need to win.
That shot that he made, was it on 17?
17 and 18. He just knifed
man.
it in there.
That was
18. Every guy bogeyed 18 except for Victor.
That was sick.
He just buries it. And then I got Glover at 5,500. He's just too good. He wants to make the Ryder Cup team. He's made more comments about the Ryder Cup than I've seen of any player ever, besides JT.
Yeah,
who's
he's
a total douchebag these days. And then Brian Harman at 4,000. He played good last week.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like Fitzpatrick said, you can't really beat a 61.
No.
Course record. And then Homa at 1,400. Homa's just he's trending back to West Coast Homa.
Yep, he really is.
He played so good, and then he lost that. He had that missed the chip at Riviera that got him in the playoff, and then haven't seen him since then, and he's kind of resurfacing. But Harman's just dialed in, and Homa's dialed in. Victor's dialed in. Roy's dialed in. Roy played really good on Sunday. It just got overshadowed by Victor.
We're in for a treat this weekend. I hope that people aren't doing much. Like, they want to sit and watch golf. Because if you're a real golf fan, like, this is the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals,
Oklahoma
the
Open.
Stanley Cup. Like, yeah. Like, this is big time, man. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm excited to watch it. Like, money on guys aside, like, this is going to be potentially
it's going to be good.
It's going to be potentially the most competitive and compelling FedEx Cup ever, because, man, all 30 of these guys are just ridiculously good.
The guys 5 or 6 back are guys that just charge up leaderboards.
Yep.
And the guys in 1, 2, 3, 4 are guys that kind of just, like, if they've got a lead, they just maintain, and it's not a lot of excitement. Where you've got guys like Tom Kim and Straka who just charge up leaderboards like insanely fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with those guys going out early, you shoot a 63, 64, 65, and it's like now you're Scotty, you haven't teed off, and you're already, instead of 5 ahead, you're 1 ahead, and it's like, well, okay, now I've got to make some putts. Well, we haven't seen that yet.
Personally, I think Jon Rahm is going to be the biggest disappointment of the entire weekend.
He's the biggest disappointment of the year.
Yeah.
For a guy to play so good and then just do nothing.
I know.
Since Augusta.
Right.
But
that's the thing. Like, ever since then, he's just kind of been like, oh, he's in every tournament, and he has like one good round every weekend, and then nothing from there. But it's usually Sunday when it's no stress golf and he's out of contention.
We've seen that historically, though. Guys won Augusta, and it's like they won it. Now it's like, what do I do? And they struggle for the rest of the year.
Although
Tiger and Jordan, maybe.
I'll put a little tidbit in there. To just get the brain thinking a little bit here. One of the comparable courses to East Lake.
It's not.
Is Augusta.
It's not. Nothing's comparable to Augusta.
That's what I'm reading, man. I'm just saying.
It's just nice to hear that there is a course that isn't like Winged Foot.
Roy's won 3 times at
here are the comparable.
And hasn't got sniffed at Augusta.
Here are the comparable courses that I'm reading: Augusta National, TPC Southwind, Quail Hollow, Innisbrook, and Memorial Park.
Okay, so just to take that into context, Roy's won 8, 9 times at those other venues and hasn't won Augusta.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
take that stat and just pass it to the side.
Yeah,
3 times at East Lake, Memorial several times, Southwinds, Quail Hollow twice. It's not even. It's no. Nothing compares to Augusta. April Augusta is different than August East Lake.
True.
Yeah.
There's no rye
That's
over
fair.
seed. There's
You're
no
not wrong there.
13 stamp. No.
Yeah, you're not
No.
wrong there.
Well, sounds
I mean,
like a natural conclusion.
So if you're going to be watching golf this weekend, there's Memorial and there's the Oklahoma Open.
If I didn't
Max
have to work on Thursday, I'd be driving 12 and a half hours down
Well,
On
I need
on
you,
Wednesday-
Smitty. Come
on
on.
Wednesday night to carry your bag
I got Max
or
McGreevy.
to push your cart.
So they tried to get a couple other tour guys to play, is what I heard, and they couldn't get. They didn't want to play, but which is understandable. You got Webb finals coming up, but you got Max McGreevy playing, Austin Eckroat playing. Austin Eckroat 74th on the money list. Max McGreevy's relegated to the Webb, but had played pretty good season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couple of good players,
Okay,
Hayden Wood, Blaine Hale from OU, couple good college players. So yeah, I'm probably out of my element here, but
It's all right. Go shoot a 64 and see what happens.
I mean, Max McGreevy's only made six or seven cuts this year, and Austin Eckroat missed half of his cuts. So
yeah,
I mean, odds are in my favor.
It's true.
Exactly.
The chances of an
Thank you, everyone.
interview, if I beat him, are probably slim, but
Make a wager.
Hey,
yeah,
maybe.
that's good.
Yeah.
Get him on plus money golf if I beat him.
Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
The only way I'd be paired with him would be on Saturday for the finale.
Perfect. Put some pressure on him. Adam wins. Come on the show. That'd be great for next week. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Adam and Smitty, for your wonderful picks. Buying everybody's school supplies. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You're already here, so that's easy. Follow us on the Twitter at Plus Money Golf, all one word. Best of luck with your bets this weekend. We'll see you right back here next Tuesday for more Plus Money opportunities. Adam, say something cool that golfers say.
Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit?